Hi, welcome to The Saw Guy. Today we're going to be doing a really simple Christmas decor project. Something that should take you less than $20 to do and probably be done in less than an hour or two. There's going to be some painting, so there's going to add some drying time to that as well. Basically, our materials are going to be a piece of 2x4 plywood. The plywood I'm going to be using is actually a birch finished plywood, just a little nicer. It's kind of a step up. It's 2x4. And it probably cost you in the range of around $10 at your local hardware store. The next piece of material actually is just paint. I use these paint samples. These particular ones are Valspar. I get them from Lowe's. They're literally around $3 a piece, and it's actually a fair amount of paint, and they have some pretty good colors. In terms of tools, what I'm using today is just some Dremel saws, a Dremel rotary tool. In this case I have an Ultramax, which is kind of their 3-in-1 saw. It does a really good job. It's got a grinder application, a flush cutting application, and a circular saw type application. Really good multi-use saw. I'm using an orbital sander in this case, but you don't actually have to have an orbital sander, and you'll kind of see what I mean a little later. Another really useful tool is the Dremel 4000. It's just a rotary tool. I think most of the rotary tools you'll be able to use. And I like Dremel tools because you can use them in so many applications. There's just a wide range of applications you can use those tools in. So let's get started on this project. The first step is to just trace out your design so you know where to cut, and basically all of these lines are areas that you are going to make your cuts. Some of them are going to be with the rotary saw, some might be with the Ultramax, whatever's easiest for each particular cut. Alright, so for this design, basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your entire 2x4 plywood piece and essentially cut it in half. It's not exactly, so you have to mark a line here, and then you basically want to make two equal halves of your half piece. So after you use the Dremel rotary tool to cut all of your pieces out of your design, this is essentially what you're left with. You can kind of put everything together, stage it, make sure everything kind of lines up as much as you can. And you'll notice that you're not getting a lot of straight lines. It's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to make straight lines with a tool like that when you're cutting out designs, because you don't have a guide or anything. So it's not a big deal. This is intended to look rustic. And that's what the orbital sander is going to be for, and the reason I said that was optional is because you can use a hand sander as well to kind of clean up all these edges. It's not a big deal. So we'll clean everything up, and then we'll move on to the next step, which is going to be painting. Alright, now that we're basically through painting, the next step is going to be to add what I call kind of a rustic treatment. And kind of the cool thing about this is that you don't have to be as perfect when you're painting over everything. Essentially what we're going to do is sand over the paint, and then the next step from there is going to be to add some stain. And what this is going to do is kind of age the piece a little bit, add a lot of rustic characteristics to it. And another good thing about this is when you're painting and when you're cutting, you don't have to be as perfect. It doesn't have to be professional looking, because most likely you're not a professional. So it gives you a lot more room to kind of create character without having to be perfect. So let's move on to this next step. Alright, so we're almost done with this project. Just a few very simple steps left. Essentially, we're just going to apply some wood glue to the back of this wood, glue it to our base piece, and then some people, in some circumstances, might want to clamp it down. If you don't have clamps, I know clamps can be expensive, you can just place some heavy weights or bricks or anything you kind of have around the house that will add some weight, maybe even some books. Just add some weight to allow the glue some time to set. Alright, now we're all finished. You can kind of see the finished product. It's a pretty interesting looking Christmas decor. It's got a lot of rustic value. Looks really, really good, I think. And I think it'll add a lot of character to your Christmas decor this Christmas season.